Machine learning modeling is an iterative process. It involves data preprocessing, feature engineering, model selection, training, evaluation, and tuning. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Different data sets and problems require different approaches. In this series, we are going to look at how RapidMiner brings these functions under a single user-friendly environment, making the machine learning model process more efficient. So let's get started with a simple decision tree model. In this video, we will briefly take a look at data preparation, and then we will create a model. If you want to follow along, you can download and import the data file. The videos importing data and data loading will both show you how it is done. We will start by retrieving the data from a repository. Click on the data directory, highlight your customer data, and drag it over. Before we actually build a model, we want to inspect our data for issues and to see if you need to do any further preparation. So click on the output port of the operator and drag a connection to the results port of the process panel to establish the connection and click the Run Process button. We have seen this result before, but let's talk a little bit more about it to understand what do we need to do to build a decision tree model. As we talked about before, each row in your dataset is called an example in RapidMiner, and each column is called an attribute. You see the churn attribute here. It's green. Well, that means it's a special attribute. It's a label. But what does the label mean? The term label is just a fancy term to tell any advanced algorithm that this is the attribute of interest. If you have sharp eyes, you will see that there's some question marks in our label. Those are rows or examples where we don't know if this person belongs in the loyal bucket or churn bucket. These may be new customers that we have just got, and now we want to be able to find out where do they belong, or are they loyal, or are they churn. And if they are churn, we might want to take some preemptive actions to try to keep them. A lot of times, advanced algorithms can handle missing values. So what we're going to do today is we are going to filter out all the examples with missing information, and then we will build a decision tree model from the prepared data. And how do we do that? Well, we will use one of RapidMiner's advanced ETL, also known as extract, transform, and load operators. So let's go back to the design view. Let's search for an operator called filter examples. Highlight it and drag it over. And when you see the connection get thick, drop it. One thing you should know, RapidMiner is pretty smart about wiring operators together, but sometimes you may want to have a little bit more control over it. So feel free to hover over the port, right-click, and then disconnect it if you don't want it. In this case, we will leave it. To continue, let's click on Filter Examples, and let's set the parameters of the operator to filter out those examples with missing values. Navigate to the right to your Parameters panel, click on Add Filters, and it gives you a nice wizard. You can see here that it automatically populated gender, but we don't want gender. We want to filter on churn. So pull down this menu, select the churn, and hover over to the conditions. Pull them down, scroll down to is not missing. So what we are doing here is we are telling RapidMiner to filter out all examples which have a question mark in our churn attribute. Let's hit OK, and let's hit the Run Process button. Great. I don't see any question marks. So are we ready? No. We just filtered the example set because we saw there were some missing values in the first few displayed examples of our label. To make sure we have done the filtering correctly and there are no red flags in other attributes either, let's look at the statistics RapidMiner has helpfully calculated for us. Click on Statistics. You can see here that there are 0 missing in all the attributes. Now we are ready to build a decision tree. Great. So let's go back to our design view and go back to our operator panel to look for a decision tree modeler. Highlight it, drag it over, and drop it on the connection. Before we hit Run Process, let's save all our work. Let's expand the process directory. We see we have O1 import customer data. So let's call this O2 build decision tree. Let's save it by highlighting the process directory, right-clicking, and select Store Process here. Here we will give the process the name O2 to build decision tree. And now we are ready to run it. Okay. In this decision tree, we see that the most important variable to split on is gender. In case you want to know how this first split attribute is identified by a decision tree algorithm, then check out the very entertaining decision tree episode of 5 Minutes with Ingo on our YouTube channel. But now, back to our results view. What would we expect according to this tree if you would be a new customer? If you are, let's say, a female named Annie, who is 39 years old and may have last interacted with us a month ago, let's see how she would be classified to this tree. Gender, Annie is female. She's not older than 89, but she's younger than 89. But then she's older than 30.5. So she's in this branch. So she's likely a churn candidate. Now, in contrast, if Annie was younger than 30, and since she has interacted with us only a month ago, we would want to know what payment method she used to predict her next action. If she used her credit card, we would likely have a loyal customer in her. The thickness of the colored bar indicates out of how many examples the branches made it. Congratulations! You built and reviewed your first decision tree model. Thank you very much for watching.